the amazing Cindy Briggs. She's an international watercolor artist and teacher. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, so nice to be here, Molly.
So nice to be here. And thanks so much for joining me today. What I want to kind of clue everybody in on is if you are watching live today, thank you. If you're watching on the replay, thank you. It's always great to support my clients and friends. And so let us know where you're watching from. So type that into the comments. If you have any questions during the interview for Cindy directly, please type them into the comments. I think you might have to go to Sacred Fire Creative to type into the comments so I can bring them up on the screen. That'll be really helpful. Otherwise, enjoy. So, Cindy, I know we know each other well, but maybe some people who are on today haven't heard of you or don't know of you. So let's just go kind of way back and tell us how you got started with watercolor.
Oh, that goes way back because my aunt and my grandmother and two of my, actually both of my grandmothers were artists. And so I was surrounded by these very supportive women artists growing up. And yeah, great grandmother too. So it just became a normal thing for me to do, part of my life.
Wonderful. So, and did they also do watercolor or did they do like other kinds of art and you found this on your own?
Well, we actually all paint in different mediums. I just teach watercolor mainly because it's easy to travel with. I love to pack up my art supplies, and you can pack up really small with watercolor and take it anywhere in the world and paint. Whereas oils are just a big project to get it all out and squeeze all the paint out. And watercolors are nice and compact and they dry quickly and you can just paint and go.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I want to actually share with people your some of your work. And so let me see if I can maybe share my screen. Uh, let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. No, my entire screen.
Well, this live, things happen when you go live that
Yeah, things happen. So
but
no, I'm trying to find it. Okay. I'm trying to share. Hopefully you can see this page. Yeah. And so I'm sharing right now your Watercolor Workshops page. So if you go to cindybriggs.com on her homepage and go to online workshops, you'll see this page, which is a few of her current workshops. So Cindy, I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but I have here the online watercolor workshops for you from Cindy Studio and her travels, and then also Paint Tuscany, Quick Sketch, and Watercolors by the Sea. And then below that, we also have this quick sketch lesson, Provence Passageway, available through Open Studio Online. So, and then you can sort of see in the background some of her work. And then do you want to tell us a little bit about maybe like what's your favorite thing about painting?
well, my favorite thing, there's so many things. I love how I feel when I paint. I feel connected to my subject, whatever it is. So today I did a live webinar with all the people in my program, everyone who could attend, and we painted flowers to celebrate spring. Today's the first of spring.
Yes.
And it's just nice to turn off the world and focus on creativity because it's so good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that right now, especially, we could all use that. Just a little bit of peace and tranquility, some calmness in our life, and
Mm-hmm.
just always being around you is very calming. You have this presence that is just so wonderful. And so you had a webinar with your students, and that's your students from your Paint Tuscany or your Quick Sketch?
Today I invited everybody. I had my Quick Sketch, Watercolors by the Sea, and Paint Tuscany group. Everybody that could attend today. I had people from Hong Kong and Sweden and all over the US, and we all painted flowers. I send them an image ahead of time.
Okay.
And I actually had 4. And then they just paint along with me and then post it in the Facebook group page. And I have to say, Molly, for those of you who are working with me, Molly is the reason all this stuff works, because she is my strategist and my tech person and my therapist. and she just really knows how everything works. So she's the reason a lot of these things come together. Anyway.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so sweet. No, I really do. It's all you. You get all the credit because you are so amazing. I definitely, as a marketer, I'm always trying to get people into putting their materials online and reaching more of an audience and kind of sharing your gift with the world. I think that that's really important and just happens to be really important right now. It's just something that I feel so blessed that we started this path years ago so that you can be further along and you can be relaunching some of your programs. So do you want to tell people a little bit about maybe the differences between those 3 programs?
Oh, sure. Right now, I have a program called Quick Sketch, watercolors, of course. And it is all about drawing with flowing lines and painting with flowing watercolors. And I have 12 videos in there, video lessons, ranging from painting in Provence, painting Zion. We've got a dog in there, beautiful flowers, all kinds of subjects. And I also have bonus webinar recordings in there. So when you join, you get all those previous webinars that I've held in there, plus webinars that will be held. We're doing paint along webinars, which is really fun. And people paint along with me while we're doing it. And then also I have a Facebook group for each of my groups, and we share our paintings on there and make comments. It's a very encouraging, awesome, supportive group of people, men and women.
Yeah, I love the community.
So that's a quick sketch. Watercolors by the Sea was inspired by Carmel by the Sea, which is a place I've been going to for 20 years. And I have scenes in there from Italy and France and I think Alaska and California, just the Caribbean, palm trees and boats and villages by the sea, something a little different. Those are, some of them are more advanced, but I make it so that you can watch and rewatch. And sometimes I even provide a drawing that you can follow. So that is going along really well. And we'll be opening that up this summer. And then there's one other, which is Paint Tuscany, where I just went last fall. So I have a lot of fresh material. And we are painting olives and poppies and sunflowers and hilltop towns. What do I have? Vineyards coming up. And that's moving along beautifully.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think that it's so nice that you're able to share all of this, especially at a time where we don't get to go ourselves to Tuscany. You know, and then I don't know, like you normally have trips. Do you know what you're doing with your trips this year?
This year we have 2 workshops in the French Riviera in October.
In October.
And the first group is full. The second group is the third, let's see, the 10th or the 17th. And we have a few spots in that, but those are full, filling up. And we are still planning on going. We'll just see what the world is
What
like
happens?
when we get there. I'm hoping that the warmth of summer and our doctors and everything comes together and we can kind of get back to normal.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really excited for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you to all the doctors and scientists who are working really hard at this, and just sending prayers and love to all the families who are being affected. Um, and in what I do, it's a lot of business owners being affected, and um, people not being able to go into work. So while you're not able to go into work, here's something that you can do is really join in with one of Cindy's workshops. And right now we have Quick Sketch open. It just opened up. Are we allowed to say that? Did I just
We
get
are
it out
open.
of the bag?
We are open. I sent my emails out to all my members, and I always let the people in my groups know first. Then those on my mailing list, my newsletter followers, and then we promote it to the world. So if you want to be in my preview list, sign up for my newsletter.
Hmm.
And you'll hear about it a little bit ahead, because what I do is the first group of people that sign up qualify for a drawing
Hmm.
for some prizes.
Ooh, tell me about the prizes. What do
What
they win?
do we have? We have a private lesson with me,
Wow.
online or in person. We'll see. It's probably going to be online if it's sooner than later.
Yeah.
Um, some of my quick sketch paintings. I usually give away 4. Last time I think I gave away 6
Wow.
because I just get excited. And then I also give away some necklaces. I have some jewelry with paintings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun. We have a get together webinar for the new people that sign up and do the drawing, and it's just a way for me to say thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I
Mm-hmm.
love that, because it's online, you're actually able to have a more global community, right? Like, so I feel like I just saw somebody from Hong Kong sign up for your quick
Mm-hmm.
sketch workshop,
Oh, good.
and who's a new student. She's never been with you before, so she's been following you online probably, and now she's going to be one of your students. So it's so great. Um,
Yeah, the world gets smaller when you're online. And we're getting to know these other artists just by their artwork and sharing, and people are very open about their paintings, if they had struggles with it or if they're really happy, the story behind it. It's almost like being in the room together.
yeah,
In a way, we're very connected.
yeah, I love that. So I know that you're such a talented artist as well as a teacher. How do you divide your time between the two? Do you find yourself with enough time to paint, or are you feeling like, um, you know, torn between the two, or how does that work?
Oh, I have to say that the more I paint, um, the more often my demonstrations become my best paintings, because there's a flow that happens, kind of an energy where, oh, I've got to get this right because people are watching me, or I want to make them turn out really well. So some of my best paintings have come from my demonstrations. My,
Wow.
my really big involved studio paintings, I have to take a week where I'm just working on that. And I'm enjoying the journaling and the quick sketch paintings, some smaller paintings. I don't need to paint for a big wall. I'm just painting for me.
Yeah.
Now, my students, or if something may come along that I feel like I need to put the time in for a more substantial painting. I hope
Yeah.
that
That makes
answers
sense.
your question. I used to paint big everything. And even when I traveled, I painted big. But what do you do with all those big paintings? Where my small paintings are so easy to frame and to give away or to put in my sketchbooks. And that I get a lot of joy. It's hard for me to give them up in my garden.
Yeah.
It's like, well, which ones should I give up? Because I love them all.
Well, do you make prints of your paintings to sell those instead? So you're not giving away the original?
I do. Some of my favorite paintings, I have prints on Etsy and with havenlight.com. So if
Nice.
people want prints of my big, important, substantial paintings, that's where you can get them.
That's where you get them. Are there links on your website or do I need to add those?
You need to do that.
I'm creating more work for myself on
We haven't done that yet, and that's
Okay.
okay.
We'll do that. We'll do that soon.
We have a
Send
long
me those links.
of things to do. There's always more to do than there is time. But we're always making progress.
Yeah, definitely. Have you seen a difference with your students and what they're learning and how they're doing over the years? Or do you have students who've been with you for a while?
I have students probably that have been with me for 20 years,
Wow.
and some more recent, just a few months. Quite a few people in my group have been with me for 10 years that
Wow.
showed up today in the webinar. I love them. And yeah, over the years, they come back around, and that really makes me happy because it's like a family.
Nice. Nice. I love it. I'm going to check here in Facebook to see if anybody's got any questions. Um, Feel free to chat or, say whatever while I'm doing this.
Okay, I well, Molly's looking at that. I should mention that art has been a part of my life since I was 5. I've always been an artist. Art was my favorite class in school. And I went to college and got a degree in design and then worked in advertising for 16 years. So I do have that background, and that's why you see me putting books together and I'm designing a lot of my banners and things. But at some point, I realized I needed Molly so that I could spend more time painting. And she's doing a great job. She's an excellent designer. At some point, you just decide what you should spend your time with, and mine is painting and spending more time with my students. So.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have is there a certain method of teaching that you use? Okay, so some of your students might recognize my name because I comment sometimes and I just kind of like go in there, but I can't
Mm-hmm.
help it because it looks so professional sometimes and they're your students. So I don't know what kind of, if there's a certain method or, you know,
It's a Cindy method. I teach them how to see shapes and simplify. That not to get hung up on all the details, but especially to look at the outside shape of something and kind of eliminate any distractions. So if you're painting a sunflower, you're focusing on the outside shape, not what you think it looks like, but what it really looks like. And then another thing that is important are relationships. One thing next to another, whether it overlaps, the space in between. Like if you're drawing my hand, you're looking at the outside shape of my hand, right? To start with that. When we draw a face, we work on the big shape and then work our way through the relationships of the things on the face. So whether you're painting rocks or a portrait, it's all connected.
I love that. Yeah, that really makes sense based on, what I've seen too. Um, there's something really, I mean, there's something unique about all your paintings, but I really think the quick sketch, they look so cool, like so interesting and completely done when they're like there's less on the page, but it's amazing, Do you know what I mean though? Because sometimes you just see the lines and then, like you said, the shapes. And here, I'll show you guys. Let me just go over to, let's see if I can share Cindy's. I'm going to share Cindy's Instagram. There we go. So if you haven't followed Cindy, please follow her. We have a goal of getting to 10,000 followers. So it'll be really great. So right here, if you can see some of her paintings. There's the quick sketch and some poppies. Ooh, these got really popular poppies. And then you can see just some of the layouts of what she's working on and some great quick sketch items. And then some more. You can see Cindy's on location, and this must be at Carmel, maybe? Or no, I'm not sure where.
I can't see it. So
you can't see it.
But yeah, I teach people how to capture the essence of a scene. So how to look at it and decide what's important and then put your pen down and go for it. There's something organic about a continuous line that just flows out of you once you get into the rhythm of doing it.
I love that. For your watchers, I know there's people watching. If you're a student of Cindy's, I would love to see a little testimonial about Cindy or something that you like about her teaching style or working with her. I know, what I also love, Cindy, that you're a kind person. You're very easy to work with. You're a very kind heart, and that means a lot to me. So thank you for you're just an ideal client for me. I'm like, yes, because you understand too what it takes. There's a lot involved. I mean,
right, because I've been on your side of things. I've been on your side of things when I worked in advertising, and how so much comes in and everything needs to get done, and how do you make it all work? And that was before we had this technology that you're working with. So thank you.
Yeah, and it's good that you had that background, so you recognize, what we need to do when it comes to promotion, and you're always very helpful when, we're saying we'd like more of these flat lay images. So flat lay images are the ones that are really popular on Instagram, and they show like, here's the image that you're working on, but they also show your paintbrushes and your palette. And that kind of image is really helpful for students, and then just interesting for, people who are viewing on Instagram or scrolling by. So, and then whenever we have, some new things that we want to promote and we're talking about it, you're very open to it. So thank you. I know we're working right now on it's an ebook, PDF on how to make your watercolors more vibrant, because you're so good at doing that. Do you want to give them just a little teaser about maybe one of the tips?
One of the tips is do not overmix your colors. The more you stir it up, the less vibrant it becomes, especially when you're mixing two colors together. It's best to let the colors mingle on the paper
Ooh,
Get to know each other instead of stirring them up together on your palette. How's that?
that's a great tip. What's the most common question that you get, Cindy?
Oh, I get so many questions. What brush am I using? People ask that because I know I've taken so many classes and I'm like, okay, whatever they're using, that is where the magic is, right? So I want to have their brush and I want to have their colors. So I think that people ask me about my brush because they think that's the magic tool. And really the one I use is great. It's really good. And it's a Dynasty Black Gold 311 watercolor quill, and it's on thebrushguys.com.
Oh, nice.
If you go in there, you can find me. There's a picture of me with my hat, and you get a discount for buying it on there. And it's under $20. So I send everybody there
Oh,
to get
nice.
that brush. It's really kind of a magic brush. It just
It's a
works.
magic brush. What is magic about it?
It holds the paint perfectly. I think it does. Some brushes don't really grab onto the paint right. And so you're always working to get some paint in there. Um, and it has a beautiful point. So you can just get the finest details with the point, but then you can turn it on the side and cover big areas.
So when you do your watercolor quick sketch, do you use a pen for some of it and a brush, or do you just use the brush?
Oh, I use my pen.
Okay.
Most
That seems like really fine, that line.
well, I could do one without a pen and use the point of my brush. I like that line quality
I do too.
in my drawings. It goes
Yeah,
way
I really like it.
to college when I learned it's like, oh, if I just keep it one continuous line, it's amazing what you can do. It's like your brain connects with your hand and it just flows out of you.
What continues to inspire you when it comes to watercolor and painting?
Oh, there's never enough things, never enough time to paint all the things I want to paint. But what continues to inspire me, I think artists are always inspired by other artists. And there's no end to that. So my students inspire me. They do some surprising things with my lessons. As I always encourage them to take the theme and run with it. Try other scenes. You don't have to use what I've sent. There are so many artists out there that I admire and follow. I take workshops so I can continue learning too. So I learn things that I share with my students. I take a lot of oil painting lessons and workshops from people I admire. I'm looking for color combinations and the way people apply paint. Going back into history. I love artists like Sargent. I could just draw over his watercolors. They're gorgeous.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to leave our viewers before we wrap up?
Well, thank you for having me. This was fun. I just finished a webinar today, so I'm just charged up to. It was hard to stop painting. I'm literally going to go back in and paint some more. But I hope for all the people in my programs, I hope they know how much I appreciate them. And to those who aren't quite ready for a program, just go to my website and check it out at cindybriggs.com, and something may come along that fits you. I also have many videos on YouTube that you can kind of get a taste of what I have going. It gives you an idea what one of my lessons looks like online. And just in the meantime, find time to create. It's really calming for your soul, and it eases your mind and just kind of takes whatever's going on out there and puts it aside so that you can focus on your spirit and your inner soul. You know, put something good on your schedule for the day and create, whether it's painting or gardening or sketching something. I think it's all really good for you.
I love it. Yeah. This is a great time for self-care and spending some time painting, drawing, out in nature. We're still allowed out in
Mm-hmm.
nature, right?
Yeah, I had beautiful pictures of daffodils and crocus just from my walk yesterday.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yay. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate you. And thank you to all of Cindy's fans and, just caring and support and during this time. I would love to see you in Cindy's groups. And so you'll probably recognize my name. I'll comment on some of your paintings and keep painting, keep doing good work. And Cindy, thank you so much for everything.
Oh, thanks, Molly. You're awesome. I appreciate you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mm.
All right. We are off. Bye.